What is happening, guys? Before we jump in today's video where I'll be showing you guys a preview of Jones Gold, which will be the next place we have a big tournament out here in Emporia, Kansas, I wanted to say thank you to Epic Games for sponsoring today's video. If you guys are one of my OG followers, then you will know that I used to go ham on some Rocket League back in the day on live stream. Rocket League is free to play and available on Epic Games Store, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. Season 3 just launched, including a new Rocket Pass, competitive rewards, challenges, tournaments, plus NASCAR and Formula 1 cars coming in May. Use my link below to download Rocket League today. While I'm out on tour, guys, I have a lot of free time at night, and Rocket League is the perfect game to jump on, play with a couple buddies, and get the competitive juices flowing. There is also cross-platform progression, so you can link all existing Rocket League accounts and share competitive rank and Rocket Pass progress. So join me on the field and download Rocket League today by using the link in my description. We are out here at Emporia, Kansas today, getting ready for the DDO. Gonna be playing on two different courses. The first one being Jones Gold. Jones Gold is a mixture of a bunch of different holes that are out here. They have Jones East and Jones West, I believe. First hole, 782. Par 4, tricky shot. It's gonna be a big dogleg left with the road being OB. So you'll see some people throwing backhands down the middle. I'm gonna go with the forehand play, trying to throw something high up through this gap of trees right here and let it fade back into the fairway. That should be good. So I've played this course a couple times, and what I've gathered is there's a couple really soft par 4s where all you really need to do is throw one good shot, whether it be the tee shot or your second shot, and you're gonna probably walk away with a birdie. This first hole is not one of those, and it looks like the wind is going to be pretty extreme for the tournament. So the idea here is just to try to get 2 safe shots inbounds, pitch up, take my par, and move on to some of the more scoreable holes out here. So I found myself a little bit pinched here up against this tree. So I'm probably gonna have to throw it a little bit flatter to try to give myself an angle. You can see up the fairway though, these 3 trees on the right, these like kind of purpley trees, if I can get past that last purpley tree on the left, the basket is just behind this wooden post and it just leads for an easy upshot. It's a little further than I thought. I probably would like to try to push up here to make that shot like 350, so I feel like a little more comfortable with the sidearm. It's 383 to get to that tree. So I'm gonna play a pretty hard, well actually, I don't even know if I have a good run up. I don't have actually a good run up. So I'm actually gonna go a disc up. I was gonna go with the Raptor fairway driver, but now I'm gonna go to my nuke. Since I don't have a big enough run up, I need a little bit more speed to make sure I get all the way over. So I'm just gonna basically try to throw this flat at the tree on the left and let it fade back and bounce. That might be absolutely perfect. I might actually have a putt. We'll see how far that went up there. So these are the purple trees that I was talking about. You can see kind of how narrow the fairway is. I'm not sure if they're gonna play this as casual water OB. I know this lake up here will be OB. So this is where you're trying to look for. This was like my last target, this last purple tree. And then just trying to throw something up into this area. And because there is a hillside here, I like it because I can throw something flat and then ideally have it fade into this hillside and not get a big skip. Not the worst look, actually. I'm not, like I said, I'm playing this for par. So the fact that I even have a look at birdie, I'm pretty happy with that to start off the round. Mind you, this is probably the calmest it'll be for any of the tournaments. I mean, there's maybe 10 miles an hour wind out here. Good for filming though. Just a bit outside. All right, I'll take my par. We'll move on to hole 2. Here we are, hole 2's tee pad. It is a pretty standard 351 foot par 3. You can see the basket is tucked in just behind that tree there. So you definitely want to miss that tree. I'm going to be playing the high hyzer. forehand right now, but also a low backhand can also be a play as long as you just miss that tree. Push, push. Short, but it's okay. So I definitely would like to try to get an actual look at this one. I think I just threw it with too much hyzer. Need to throw it probably a little bit flatter to make sure it pushes past this tree. And I am missing left on all my putts right now. Dial it in, calibrate, moving on, hole 3. Back-to-back pars. So you might be asking, Brodie, why do you have these crazy Ricky Fowler pants on? And I don't know. I don't know if Kansas fans are huge Ricky Fowler fans, but I did not realize how cold it was gonna be in Kansas. A cold front came in. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I posted that we got like 3 or 4 inches of snow the other night. It was wild. It's very, very cold. It's supposed to warm up here in a couple days, but I wasn't prepared. So I didn't really have any athletic pants. Went to the nearest sports store where, if you've ever been to Emporia, you don't have too many options. So went in and they had, these were the only pants. These are the only pants they had in my size. So I'm flamboyant Brodie today, Ricky Fowler style. And if it doesn't match my outfit, there's nothing really new here. All right, here we are, hole 3. You can see big dog leg left, lots of OB. I think the play really is just to chip something out into the field here and then give yourself a straight up shot across. I feel like that's perfect. They don't have the OB lines down yet, so I don't know, but I feel like that's money. I have a hard time feeling that this is gonna be OB. They have another T sign for the FPO over there, and it looks like as long as you're kind of in this range of these trees, you're good. OB will probably be 40, 50, 60 feet left of where I am. So I think this is pretty much as I want to chew off. I'm left with just about 300 left. Dead straight shot. So going with the buzz, just trying to throw something into circle here. Give myself a chance. That should be a tap in. Would have liked for it to be a little bit more of a tap in, but 20 footer. I haven't honestly made a putt outside of 20 feet, so actually it's probably 18. Get the putter going here. Jam it straight in the middle of the chains. Well, that wasn't the middle of the chains, but it went in. We're counting. Hole number 4, 530, par 4. I think it's an island green. I'm not sure. Fairway divided by maybe not an island green, but basically there is OB. Oh, I guess the water isn't OB either. Fairway divided beyond, parking lot beyond. Yeah, water's not OB. So I guess this water over here is gonna be casual. Oh yeah, creek and ditch is casual. Okay, cool. The cool thing about this too is they actually show you where the short pin is, which is 340. So that is the ideal landing zone, 340 foot shot off the tee. I think this will be another kind of wind specific tee shot for me. I can probably go forehand hyzer and just have it land up there, or I can kind of go with a little turnover mid-range. So for right now, I think I'm just gonna play the turnover mid-range with the backhand. That should give me a nice little look up there. Everyone say hi to Paul in the comments. We're 240 out. I could push it a little bit more if I wanted to off the tee and get like an extra 50 feet or so, but anything inside of 250, I should be able to get up and down. This green is a little bit fast on the right-hand side. There is that ditch, that casual creek on the right. Don't want to be in there. So the mistake here is to push something more out left and trust that it's going to get a good skip off of the street if you do end up pushing it a little wider than you wanted to. And I'm in the creek. Back to back. You guys can see now behind the green just how tight this is. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have this all roped off as OB. That will be casual, but you don't really want to go over there. You don't have that much of an option to make that putt. So literally skipping something off the street and having it roll down, I think is probably the play. Hole number 5, another placement shot. We haven't really had one where we've just been able to rip one off the tee. You don't want to go much further than these short baskets up here, which play as 390 or 422. So you really just want to throw like a 400-foot shot off the tee. Now there is a weird kind of hill towards the end of the fairway here, and so you either want to be short of that hill to give yourself a flat ground, or you want to be on top of the hill. I'm probably going to play for short of the hill because it's really not that far. So I'm just going to try to throw like a 350-foot shot. I think I'm just at the very end of the hill. Should be good. All right, you guys let me know. How do you feel about these kind of safari-esque courses of where they kind of combine a bunch of holes? You'll have like a bunch of baskets and stuff that aren't in play, a bunch of tee pads that aren't in play. But how do you like this for kind of the elite level pro tour kind of courses? Are you a fan of, you know, being able to play or being able to see courses like this where, you know, you might play the normal layout and then the pro tour comes in and they kind of change things up to make it a little bit more difficult? Or do you think the pro tour should kind of find courses that are already set up in a way that can challenge the pros? I'm a little bit on the hill, but it should be all right. You can see the basket. There's kind of an elevated basket, a little bit built up on a little bit of planters up there. And there is water just over top this hill. Shouldn't really come in play for most players that get off the tee well. But yeah, you basically just have to go a little bit inside of that, give yourself a good, decent chance at birdie. I'm only 330 out, but because of the awkward lie of having to go uphill just a little bit, I probably am not going to try to get my buzz there. I'm going to disc up for a raptor, and this should give me enough speed to get something close into circle. Oh, you almost saw the ending. It was a great shot. I promise eventually we will get to a tournament that isn't windy and I won't have these tripod issues where the wind is just disrespectfully blowing over the tripod. Also, at some point I'm going to try to find a videographer and an editor that potentially might be able to join me on the road, or at least at some of these tournaments, so we can kind of generate a lot more content. You know, I'm out here doing this today, but I think it'd be a lot easier for everyone if I had someone that was able to kind of produce it versus me having to play and produce and do all that fun stuff. So working on that. Hopefully we'll have something figured out at some point. But heck, hey, that was a good shot. You guys just didn't see, I think, the very end. I don't know when it started falling. I kind of could hear it in the peripheral hearing. I don't know if that's a thing, but that's a turkey. Gobble, gobble. And this is the stretch where it's just like, you got to give yourself chances on all these holes. You really just have to throw, you know, these placement shots. We're about to go to another one where it's another placement shot off the tee. And then it should be, if you throw it a successful placement shot, should be a pretty routine up and down from there. But the wind does look like it's going to be pretty nasty for the tournament. So when it's 20, 25, 30 mile an hour winds, gusting all over the place, swirling around, at that point, all bets are off. Hole number 6, again, perfectly lay up to the short basket, which plays 440. That's where you want to go for the gold. And then that'll give you a nice little shot between the trees. You'll kind of see here, right where Paul's RV is, that is the biggest gap. So if you throw something over there, you literally just have like a 200, 150 foot forehand, backhand, upshot through that gap. Some people will lay up and then go like big spike hyzer over the top. In windy conditions, I'm not really feeling that play.
Needs to get left in a hurry. Left, left, left. All right.
I pushed it a little too wide, but I might have a little shot. I got a big skip, which is nice. Got another question for you guys. Have you found yourself, depending on the tournament, the course, the weather, have you found yourself changing up your bag? That's one thing I've noticed a little bit different this year than last year. Last year I was just so only comfortable with so many discs that I would just try to make those discs work no matter what course I played at. Here, it's gonna be so windy. There's so many placement shots. It's gonna be way more important to have a lot of fairway driver, overstable plastic, super overstable. So the last couple of tournaments, I've been able to get away with just having a handful of, overstable discs, having a force and having a machete, and that's pretty much it. The disc I just threw there was a Z Nuke, and I just added that in my bag at Jonesboro. I love the Nukes so much, but a lot of my Nukes, when I was throwing into headwinds, they would flip up to flat. And then you don't necessarily always want that. So I went out to the field with a bunch of Nukes that I have as backups, and I threw this bad boy into a stiff headwind, and it wasn't turning over. So that immediately went into my bag and will be very useful out here in the Emporia winds. I didn't know if I was gonna be good, but I don't think I'm in a good spot here. You can kind of see what I'm looking at. I'm gonna look to see if I can get something through maybe that gap. But this is where you wanna be. You wanna be out here, like I said, the short basket. It does bring this OB into play a little bit over here, but ideally you wanna be over here, and then you've just got all these gaps that you can throw to. So I did yank that one a little wide, a little wider than I wanted to, and now I must suffer the consequences. I actually think I can maybe push a zone to get around. I might be able to hug, give myself a little 6 inches there, hug this tree on the left as much as I possibly can. I think I'm good right there. Height, hyzer, pushing. That's as good as I can go. Oh my gosh. Literally, I can't throw any better than that. That's the best I can go from there. Almost hit the tree, but it was worth it. I have no idea how I got long. I would not have bet money that I'd be able to throw that long past the basket. And there we are. Again, just put shots in place and then make up shots. That's what you gotta do. So I was told this used to be hole number 1 at the DDO back in the day. They would start off at this hole. Now it plays as hole 7. Same pretty much shot, 355. Kind of gonna go through this gap here on the left. You can see Mando, you can't go big hyzer. Makes you go through this gap. It's pretty much a perfect forehand nuke for me. If I just throw it good, I should give myself a chance at a birdie here. I think I did. It might be a little short, but I think that should be all right. Got a couple more holes here on the front 9 for you guys. Hopefully you're enjoying the video so far. If you are, make sure you just hit the like button down below. That kind of lets me know what videos you guys like. Yeah, it felt short out of my hands. Not surprised with this result. I gotta really pop the forehand here to make sure that I actually get up this hill. Now, this is kind of a death putt. Behind this pin goes down. So I'm gonna give this one a bid, but it's gonna be probably a little bit softer. Actually, you know what, that's a terrible idea. I'm just gonna run it normal and tell myself that you're gonna hit metal. Worst case scenario, it's right by the basket. Oh, that's a different metal than I thought I was gonna hit. Hole number 8, par 4, 585. You wanna just pound something down there. You'll see some people throwing the turnover shots. You'll see some people throwing kind of a little hyzer flip down the road. I like the hyzer flip. It gives me a good little angle, not too many trees in the way. But you probably get closer to the basket if you do a turnover. So I actually might throw both on this one and see which one I like better. Dees. All right, and we'll see where those both ended up. All right, a little unlucky with the backhand one, but you know, we should be able to step out, throw a forehand, so a backhand or something. I think the blue one, I definitely put a little move on it. So the blue one should be up a little bit further. I'm not gonna look for it for too long. I'll come back and find it after I throw this up shot. Take it easy, man. 220. I'm not a big fan of this backhand shot. I really want something working away from that tree. So I'm gonna go with my more stable zone. I feel like I should be able to execute a little flex shot here. I don't even actually need a flex shot. I need to just throw it straight and then let the disc do the work. This is how I wrote it up. I don't even know if you can hear me. The traffic's so loud over here. This is what you want to see, especially when the winds are going to be so much. Is like just like that. That's as far as putts you want. 5-footers all day. All right, hole number 9, par 4, 613. It's pretty much exactly the same exact hole we just played. You're just gonna throw something as far as you can over the street, let it come back, and then have yourself a little upshot. You can see the basket is way off in the distance. Should have 200 or so feet upshot. It plays a bit uphill, so bombing one out there is a little bit tricky. I never found my blue disc. I just realized I never found my blue disc. Oh my gosh, it's right here. So I feel like my upshot was stuck behind that tree. So clearly, if you throw the turnover, you get more distance, but all can go be. Oh, skip off the road. Give it to the man. Hopefully the audio is not too trash here with the highway right next to this hole. But this is a big tournament for me, guys. One of the reasons why I dropped out of the tournament that's going on right now over in Colombia is because a couple reasons. One, the weather didn't look good. And even though Harmony Bends is like one of the nicest courses apparently in the States, it doesn't really flood well. And the weather looked like it wasn't going to kind of work out in that favor. So I actually kind of played it right because they're not even playing at Harmony Bends. They're playing at some backup course. But also the other reason is DDO is 2 tournaments this year. Or sorry, 2 courses this year, where last year we just played Country Club. We are now playing Jones Gold and Country Club. So had I gone to that other tournament, I would have had 2 days to prepare for 2 courses. I just don't think that's enough. And this is a big tournament for me. It's a national tour. I'm currently sitting at 25th in national tour points. And it's also a USDGC qualifier. And if you guys follow me on social media, you'll know I blew it at the last tournament. Had a real good shot at getting that qualifier. Honestly, all I needed to do was par out the last 7 holes. If I would have just got pars all last 7 holes, I would have gotten in. But I botched it. This is a USDGC qualifier. It's time to man up. It's time to play good. It's time to get that spot. After that big skip off the road, I pretty much have nothing left here. You can see the basket just there on the right. Pretty much is an easy little upshot. Oh, Easy meaning trying to make it, I guess. Jeez, I wasn't even trying to make it. A little too juicy on the upshots. I gotta get those closer. I don't want any of that, especially in the heavy winds. I don't want any of that. But that is gonna wrap it up here on the front 9 out at Jones Gold, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the back 9. You can click over here once that gets uploaded. The back 9's got some cool holes as well. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Keep slinging them discs.